RGB lights seem to be all the rage these days. Today I've got here Weeylite's entry with their larger panel lights, the Sprite 20 RGB light set. These lights are not only RGB, but they also are RGBW. It has, I believe, 17 different scene modes, special effects, and then of course they're also bicolor lights as well. Let's talk about the specs for these lights. Each light is 30 watts total in power. There are 265 lamp beads. It has a CRI of 95. Max brightness is 2600 lumens. You can program the lights into 6 different groups and 19 different channels. So you can mix and match them with more of these lights or some of the other lights that Weeylite has, like the Ninja 400. There are 2 lights in this package. They also come with 2 light stands as well, power adapters, tilt heads for the top of the light stand, and a nice carry bag as well. The Weeylite Sprite 20s are an all plastic build, but I will say it's a fairly sturdy plastic. There's no flex anywhere when I press really hard, even over the battery compartments. There's a frosted cover to help with diffusing the light. There is a 1/4 mount on the bottom. You have the 2 Sony NPF battery slots, and I will say you do need a battery, 2 batteries, both of them in at the same time for the light to power on. Just putting one in, nothing will happen. On-off switch, you have your control knob, and of course your readout screen. Let's turn this on so you can see the screen. So the Sprite 20 has 4 different modes, and you change these modes with a long press on the control knob here. Right now we're in color temperature mode. With the one long press, we switch over to HSL mode. Long press again. RGBW mode. One more press. Then we're in the different scene modes or special effects that the light can do. And pressing again will get us back to the regular color temperature mode. Just to give you an idea about the battery life and how efficient these lights are, I'm currently powering it with 2 Sony NPF, I believe these are 950 batteries. I've had these lights on anywhere from 1 to 50 to sometimes even full power for the last hour and a half. And as you can see from the battery gauge there, I've only dropped down 1 bar. Again, this is no scientific test, but it tells me that these lights are actually pretty efficient. The kit does include 2 light stands. Not a lot to say about the light stands. They are fairly inexpensive, but they're actually a bit nicer than the, super cheap ones that you find on Amazon. The tube are a little bit thicker. The connectors here, not metal, but they're very thick plastic, and I think they're more than good enough to handle the weight. These light panels are super, super light, even with a couple of batteries on the back of it. So the light stands they include, more than adequate enough to handle these lights. I do have to say that the remote that comes with these little Weeylite panels, it's actually a really fantastic remote. Probably one of the more useful remotes I've ever gotten with a light. You can kind of see the edge back there of the light, and you control pretty much everything. Change the power. There it goes, getting super bright. You can hitting the mode button. We're in HSL mode, by the way, and now we can go through, change the hue, change the saturation. And with a long press of the mode button, just like with a long press of the little control dial on the back of the light itself, we'll change the different modes for the light. So now we're in RGBW. Again, we can change all the different functions. And long press again, and now we're in the different special effect modes. And again, long press. Now we're in your color temperature mode. We'll bring that up to daylight. There we go. Mode again and go back to the power. Let's bring that back down to 1%. And pressing mode again. and you're back to the HSL mode. It's nice and bright. There's some heft to the remote. Actually, super useful. I really like it. Now, each light stand comes with this nice little swivel mount here. But what I like is that it's not just that single 1/4-20 screw, but there's a little stopper in there too that matches up with the bottom of the light. As you can see, there's a little hole there, so that when you put this in, if I can put this in, there we go. So once you have it connected on there, this won't twist around. This on the light stand. Now let's put the light on it. Do you see? It's not going to go twisting anywhere, and you can kind of swivel it forward and backwards on the light stand. Just a nice little touch, which this light set is full of. Just nice little good to haves that maybe a lot of companies don't go through to get these little nice details that just make this light better than some of the other really bargain stuff that's out there. One of the other advantages to this light set is, of course, you can use your NPF batteries. And if you have large ones like I do, I believe these are the 950s, you're going to get an incredibly long runtime. And of course, you could power them off of mains as well. I have to say, I'm a big fan of these lights. For the price tag, well, take for example, you could spend around $100 and get one of these little mini RGB panels, very small, usually meant for on camera, or for the price of about, well, 2 of these, you can get this dual light set. It's a larger light source, which means you're going to have a softer light on your subject. They are stronger, more powerful lights. You have all the different scene modes, which I know these little guys sometimes have these scene modes as well. But in my opinion, this is just a much better value. Plus you get the 2 light stands, you get the carrying case. All in all, I think it's just a great value for your money. So if you're looking for lights that are a little more budget oriented, I would absolutely recommend these Weeylite Sprite 20 light sets.